fast holidays coming up all the time. Pockets little thin. So you say to him, come on in.
Hi there, welcome back to Civil Discourse. It's been a while. I'm Paul, and we have a few new guests today. Rose, for example, right over there. We've got KP, and we have Deja. Rose is from DC, correct, by way of?
Frankly, by adoption. In the 90s, I was adopted and brought to the Northwest DC parts, but I've lived in Maryland, Virginia, all types of parts, studying, school, and just living life.
But when did you come to the U.S.?
I believe it was 1993, and I was between the ages of 3 and 5. We don't know because technically, the dentist said, okay, you got 5 years on your ears, but on the birth certificate it said 3 years. So between the age of 3 and 5, so who knows? From
Madagascar. So you're the first person I've ever met from Madagascar, probably 5 years ago. So that's so. I'll keep moving along here, but then I'm gonna come back and ask some questions. A little more, okay? And we have KP here, right?
Yes. Hi, I'm KPX. I'm from Baltimore. I'm a certified engineer. I'm an artist. I've been here my whole life. Still.
I didn't know you were an artist. What type of art?
I am. I'm a writer, and I sing, and I rap as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice. All right. Deja, what about you?
Hi, everybody. I'm Deja Aurora. I wear many hats. I'm multifaceted. So yeah, I'm here with the gang today.
Dangerous. I like that. Maybe we'll find out a little bit more about that. But as far as so you grew up in DC proper, correct? Okay.
Yeah, Northwest DC.
And the reason I'm going to ask these certain questions, I'm trying to get to the root of why, let's say today, 2025, we still have to label people as colors, right? So as far as I can tell, none of you have skin that is black. As far as I can tell, they all look a beautiful shade of brown to me. You can take the compliment if you like. But not black. I don't even, never met anybody that was actually black. So when you were a little girl growing up in DC, were you given that label? Did you know it? When were you aware?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Essentially, I was the only black kid on the block of Connecticut Avenue.
Okay.
And then when I went to school, it was a mixture of kids. It was like international kids, but I was the only Malagasy person. And even being Malagas, it's a culture war, so it's like there are different tribes. There are 27 different tribes. So I'm
Really?
one tribe, and then the other people who live in Baltimore, the Malagasy people who live in Baltimore, they're another tribe. So it's kind of like very cliquey, and we want to know other Malagasy people, but only what we look like. So the way I look like, I'm the Betim Sarak, and I'm like the African / woodland people, and the people that we have a culture war with is mostly the Merm. They're from the highlands, they have the chinky eyes, the straighter hair, so it's like, who is real Malagas, therefore, but for me it's like, who was born and raised there, who thinks that way, who thinks, I don't necessarily just think American, I don't just think French, I think Malagas, I think all of that, but it's depending on where you were born, it's like, what is your status, essentially.
And then, but the exterior label.
Absolutely.
From DC itself, not from people from your country, they would have just labeled you, slap a label of black.
Just black,
right?
yeah.
Just to get a color on there, boom, that's who and what she is.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how it is here in our country.
Yeah.
It's just easier.
Did you ever feel like that minimized sort of who you were as an individual? Do you ever think like, okay, this is who I am and who I have to be?
No, I wouldn't say it ever made me feel like I had to be a certain way. I grew up, I'm mixed, so I grew up with Italian heritage and learning about different parts of my African heritage as well.
Yeah.
But I grew up in a community that exposed me to a lot of different cultures growing up. So I never got too narrow of a view, but it can be a challenge at times being multiple different races. Because of maybe expectations from certain groups or how people want to classify you. But Nothing ever outright, but at times there's been outright things. But.
Well, I mean, instead of like not maybe it's not even a negative aspect, but more over society, media, like I said, media news, things like that. A classification,
Right.
school, you got to get classified.
Yeah,
as
exactly.
something.
Yeah.
And work and anything.
Right, Deja. What about you? You're Baltimore born? lived
Born
there?
and raised.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard at times. Like I feel like we all have like a similar kind of grasp on it. And we've spoken about it before. Like depending on what brews I'm in, sometimes I would get asked, what side of my family was Caucasian, what labels and things like that, what side was from the islands and stuff like that. And then when they find out that I have, immigrants as family members and stuff, it kind of like divides it as well. They don't really perceive you a certain way anymore.
Right.
It becomes that whole narrative of you're not black enough.
Right.
Or
Not black enough, right.
yeah, or you
Prove
don't.
yourself.
Live up to some standards.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
right.
it's always puts you in like a weird position, but
Right.
you kind of just navigate it somehow. I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't know.
yourself.
Yeah.
Right, so what is black enough? That's the bigger question. What does it mean? What is it?
Different levels.
In historical context, right?
Yeah.
There is a historical context, right? So,
Yeah, like historically
Right.
speaking, and then like with the times, like if we were like born in the 90s and stuff, culturally, if we're not dressing like the trends that's going on and things like that, you'll be perceived a certain way, or if you speak a certain way, it's a problem. So,
Right,
so
right.
it's just always something.
Right.
and what do you, like for example, you all, if you, like the speaking in a certain way, has it ever been someone has brought it up, or?
Oh yes.
That's directly, yeah. Like, what is
Oh,
your
yes.
problem? Why do you speak like that?
Yeah.
Like, why are you different from us?
Yeah, I have like a pretty standard American accent, so people talk about how I speak a lot.
Yeah, I had played in a band with a guy for 10 years, okay, and he was from Silver Spring, Maryland, Brian. So he's a few shades darker than any of you all in photographic memory. Got a master's in economics, and I know he got hassled a lot in school. He's older than you all, say he's 40, he's probably 41, but he got hassled a lot in school because how he spoke, and he was an intellectual, and he said he got a lot of harassment. Plus he played rock music, so
Right. So
it didn't help his case,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, eloquency can sometimes be jarring.
It's your boy. I did. In East way. If y'all have any girl problems out there, you married, you single, you got a girlfriend, someone can help you out from here, right? Holidays is fast